Open for discussion, so go ahead.
Well, I'm concerned that, tonight we're hearing how much it's going to cost and that we have no say in where the lights are going to go. I don't know that anybody knew that when they signed the petition, whether that, more people would sign for or more people would sign against. But I think now that we have all the information, we need to do it all over again. Because I don't think it's going to come out the same.
So the request, that my understanding is that, first of all, it's obvious that we want to verify the fact that the petitions were in fact valid, and that you, the residents, need to know the cost, particularly the cost, as opposed to, as we are aware of, that National Grid will basically tell us according to the location, based on the size of the development. So,
Want to know the costs, and obviously they're for life, and where the lights would go.
And Mr. Hess will be able to tell you down to the penny what it will cost.
Well, I think we should know that before we decide, yes, we want to know, we don't. Because we didn't have any information.
did you sign the petition?
I did not.
Okay. But did the question not come up at the time?
How was the homeowner going to tell us that? They didn't have that
Oh, they
information.
wouldn't.
Right.
They wouldn't.
Right.
Okay. We can table this.
Well, you have a public
We
hearing.
have a public hearing on it. So,
You can close the public hearing and table your determination on that. You can continue the public hearing.
we have someone else to speak.
I have one more question. Who gets to vote? Was it property owner or who lives in the house? I own multiple properties, so I want to know, do I get 2 votes? Because I vote for both of them and I pay taxes on both of them. Right, so I own 2 parcels. So I
My understanding is that when it's set up, and correct me if I'm wrong, Shirley, it's done on the assessed value, and 50% of the assessed value of the district has to be in favor of it before it goes
But
ahead.
if she owns 1 or more parcels, she certainly can sign more than one time.
Right, well, I mean,
That
both
needs
of
to be clarified.
those parcels, yes, count either way.
And your question is not only you who own the property, if other people live within your home, can they sign? Is that your question or
No,
not?
my question is, who can say we get streetlights? The property owner or the person living in the home? The renter or the property owner? So I get 2
Sign
votes.
the petition.
So I get 2 votes because I own 2 properties.
Yes.
That's what I want to verify. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Karen Ogden. I live at 8338 Lakes Lane. And I am more than in favor of the lights. And I just need to make sure everyone knows that there are people who are in favor of them. And our street is very dark. It is very, very dark at night. We've had break-ins in cars. We've had, I really just want to break in a car. And I walk at night and I would like lights. Now, I am more than happy to table this, honestly, and to find out the cost. I think the costs are very important too. And I think where the placement is important to my neighbors. It really is. And I'm very happy to table that also until that point. But we've already sent a petition around. I did not do the petition, one of our other neighbors did, and it has been signed. But I do think the cost is important, and I think that would be good to know. And I think I just repeated myself twice.
Did you say you lived on Lakes Lane?
I do. I do. I live at 8338 Lakes Lane.
No, I just wanted to know which street is really dark.
It's, Lakes Lane is a horseshoe, and the beginning of the horseshoe is actually pretty light. It's the end of the horseshoe that is really dark. I mean, it's where my house sits. I can see the whole horseshoe, and at night, it's extremely dark. It just is. So I am in favor of the streetlights. I am in favor of finding out how much they are first, though, and I am in favor of finding out where the placement would be.
I'd like to address the cost involved. Do we get a choice on the streetlights? Expensive ones or inexpensive ones, and they're going to fit the neighborhood, or you're just going to put a wooden pole in the ground and hang the fixture over that? So when you get that person from National Grid, get some feedback on what kind of fixtures and the cost of them. If there's an option on different cost of different fixtures.
We will have Mr. Haas, if that's the case, have that information at that time as well.
You will have a couple options, I know.
Well, it's not only that, but the district that already has lights, they've already established with a certain look, and a certain pole
Well,
and
then
light.
I'm sure that would carry through.
It'd probably be nice if they're all the same.
That makes sense.
And also in the vein of, I'm in favor of the lights, I'm in Nate's Lane also, and we have had some vandalism in the neighborhood. It gets cut through, I believe. And one of the houses next door was, I forgot exactly, actually something were thrown at the house.
That's the indication from the letter that eggs,
Yeah, it was Dave,
Right.
lived next door to Dave.
right.
Thank you.
And from a public safety standpoint, Chief, I know you've had the position that these are helpful anyway, to some extent regarding some type of mischief.
I really can't tell you. I mean, I don't have streetlights on my street. I really don't see a benefit or a negative, a positive or negative either way. A lot of times, lights are not positive for us, and sometimes they are positive. It all depends on the situation. So I really think it's really a preference based on who the residents are, what they want.
Just one more thing. The section of the track that was talked about that is dark is not fully built out. And the builder there are 2 lots left to be built on that end. So it is dark because there's 2 empty lots. There's no houses there.
Could I comment, please, too? I just want to let the board know that we're past the deadline to get these charges on new lots, so that if we can't make a decision tonight, which it appears we will not, we won't be able to get those charges on for the January tax bill if we do decide that we're going to put lights in over there. So that will defer into next year's, the January 2012 bill, just to let you know, okay?
So it means they won't get billed, it won't go on the tax bill, but if they get put in, say we go through the process.
But it's my understanding that we can't put them in until we raise the money first, so, yeah, we're gonna be a little bit behind.
Okay.
So, with that said, is there anyone else who would like to speak?
My name is Louis Cascanet, and I live at 8317 Nate's Lane. The only thing I have that I want to know is when Niagara Mohawk or National Grid puts these lights in, puts these poles in, are they going to clean up the mess afterwards? Because we've had drains put in on Nate's Lane, and all they did was dig them up, put the new one in, they never filled in the holes, they never did anything. And the people from Nate's Lane had to fill their own around all the grates that was put in during that time.
This is the builder you're talking about?
Whoever put them in, I guess the town said that they hired it out, but they never come back to straighten it out. All the owners that had a drain by their house, they had to take care of it themselves.
How long ago was that? Just out of curiosity.
It's not that long ago, they were put in since I moved in, I've only been there 2 years.
Well, we can't speak for National Grid, but I'm sure that if he were here, when he does come, to give the rest of the information, that question can be asked as well.
That's a very good point.
I was late, and I'm sorry. There's an accident at Redlands. Backland. I live on Nate's Lane, and I'm a widow. I live alone. It's very dark. And I think that leaving your outside lights on all night would be just as expensive, or almost, as having a night light, you know, the street lights. Looking at some of the other people's bills on, what is it, Lana Lane, or whatever it is behind me, doesn't it average out to about $7, $8 a month? I believe that's what I saw. So, whatever that would be per year, it's really not a lot of money. So that's all I have to say. I'd like to read.
Thank you.
All right, so if we table this, that means that we'll have plenty of time, because the streetlights will not even be able to go into effect until next year. If we go forward, the decision would have to be made this evening in order to accomplish getting streetlights.
Mine was like the soul on Lana Lane. This has come up 2 years in a row. It was a petition signed a year ago that somehow got lost. Okay? New board came in, and nobody knows what happened to petitions. I signed the petition a year ago. Now you're saying if it doesn't get answered today, these people are going to have to wait another year. That's not fair.
Adding to what the gentleman said, we did do the original petition. It was submitted. There was a change in leadership, and somehow no records or anything could ever be found. We had to go around and get signatures all over again. But we did that twice. We got a majority both times. And I was told that it was properly certified. It was checked by a controller with the last petition I put in. But we did that twice.
When was it put in, do you know?
Well, I submitted it in August of this year, the second one. The first one I submitted over a year ago, or before the change in leadership. But this current one was submitted in August. Thank you.
We're going to close the public hearing. If that's the proper thing to do. Okay. And recommendation now to go forward with a vote to read the resolution. Correct?
Can I do that? Yes.
Are we comfortable with the board?
What?
I think some folks had some unanswered questions relative to cost and where these are going to be, but then we have the issue of having to wait until 2012 before they would actually be installed.
And people have questions about cost, and we have questions about signature verification.
The way the resolution is set up, it doesn't depend on the petition, because it's subject to permissive referendum. So the petition doesn't have to be verified.
We just submitted to go forward with this.
It would go forward and it would be subject to 30-day period afterward.
So if we were to vote on this evening, there was an opportunity for those who also come back and contest